I wasn't sure if I was going to go live today, but I decided, why not? It's Friday, TGIF, everybody. I'm Loretta. I run the website Legally Quirky. I'm a former attorney, and now I do life coaching. And I wanted to do a live stream today to talk about one of the reasons why I gave up practicing family law, and one of the most stressful reasons why I used to hate Fridays. And that is because on Friday or Saturday, you would have exchanges in child custody happening. And 99% of the time, there would be some sort of problem. Sometimes it was a big problem, like a parent didn't show up, or a parent took the child someplace they weren't supposed to because there might have been a court order. You can't take this child around other children from a blended marriage or other family members that are involved in an abuse case. And I would get phone calls starting on Friday night, early Saturday morning, because the drop offs would happen whenever the biological parents decided they would happen. Okay. Unless there was a court order in place and a judge decided it, the parents could decide when the drop off happened. So people unknowingly would agree to, we're going to exchange the child at 8 o'clock in the morning at the Dunkin' Donuts nearest us. And then one parent would oversleep or be late, or they would bring a current boyfriend or girlfriend with them, and that would set off the other biological parent. And they would be on the phone with me, unfortunately, often with the child, able to hear everything that they were saying. And they would be talking about the other parent in front of the child, and then also telling me everything and unloading. It could sometimes be very vicious and emotional. They would get triggered. They would be cursing. There would be inappropriate things said. Past wrongs, like adultery, would come up in front of the children while they were on the phone. And I would know that the kids were on the phone because they would be on speaker in the car driving away from where the swap happened. I would get a lot of phone calls on Saturday during a visit, because a parent would say, oh my God, the kid said such and such, and I think that, they're violating the agreement that we have, and they're talking about me, they're talking about my current boyfriend, girlfriend, or I think they're going to do something that, is against the agreement that we have, and they're going to try to enroll them in school, but I'm the one that's supposed to enroll them in school. And again, frantic phone calls on my on my weekend. And people would get the bills and they would be really surprised. They'd be like, wow, I have all these times that, you're billing me for legal advice. And I'd be like, yeah, that would be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday when you called me multiple times and we had multiple conversations because you were freaking out and you didn't know what to do. The best advice I can give you is, while you have your child, enjoy your child and have the visit, and refrain from making any negative comments about the other person that's the biological parent. Depending on how old the child is, they're going to repeat what you said probably. And if you threaten them, well, you're threatening your child. Do you think you're doing that child a favor, threatening them? Okay, don't tell dad or mom that I did this or I said this or that we went there. You're going to put all that pressure on that kid to hide something that you don't want the other person to know about. Let them be kids. My God. I mean, nowadays, kids don't get to be kids anymore. There used to be a time where you got to play games, board games, not video games, but we played board games. We went outside, we rode our bikes, we played stickball. We didn't have anything fancy back when I was a kid. And you got to enjoy being a kid, though. Nowadays, there's all this pressure on kids. They're in the middle of these horrible fights, and parents do sometimes use their kids as bargaining chips. I hated it when I used to see that. Because I would look at these kids and you could tell by the look on their face. Here they are, they're 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they're jaded already because they are being shuffled back and forth and used to get back at a parent. How awful to do that to a child. And I don't know how much anybody knows about child development, but there are different stages during a child's development. There's that, infant toddler stage, but then you go all the way up to age 7, and then you have ages 8 to 12, and then there's when they get into the teen years. And every stage is crucial for its own reason. To start dumping on your child, and people start fighting even before the baby is out of the womb. They find out that, oh, you're pregnant and we're having a child together. This is when they start drawing lines in the sand. Grandparents get involved. Depending on where you live, grandparents don't have a lot of rights. So that's something for, you to talk to your family about. But it can be a nightmare even before the baby is out of the womb. And people are fighting over who's going to have what holidays. So as we head into the weekend, those of you that have drop off starting at, well, it's summer now, so school's out. Oh my God, the alternate 50-50 split of 1 week with mom and 1 week with dad. That's another joy in and of itself. But if you're dropping off or picking up at 4 or 4:30 or maybe 5, depending on when the other biological parent gets out of work, I wish you the very best of luck. Enjoy your time with your child or children. Don't talk about the other parent. Save it all up. If you have to vent, get a journal and write it in a journal someplace where the kid's not going to see it. And then on Monday, preferably at 11, call your attorney and start unloading about what happened over the weekend. Your attorney is going to be much more responsive to you on Monday at 11 than on Friday night at 8 o'clock, Saturday at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. And you might think I'm joking. I'm not joking. I had one client in a month. She and I had 300 text messages, emails, phone calls. She would call me sobbing on the phone about how, she didn't have the child that weekend. And a lot of times she didn't even make sense. I am not a therapist. A lot of attorneys end up becoming therapists. If you need therapy, go get a therapist for that. Your attorney needs to be your attorney only, and only used if there is truly an emergency, something earth-shattering that's going on. You don't want to call them on the weekend. It will add up. And I was nice. There were some people, they were friends, referrals from friends, and I wouldn't charge them for the weekend. And it just really got to be so commonplace. There are people that owe me thousands of dollars because they were mad when they finally got their bill, and I charged them for all those weekend telephone calls. It adds up. 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, an hour here. I'd be like, all right, you want me to stay on the phone with you while you do the exchange so that I can be in the background and hear everything that's going on? It doesn't do any good. I really hope that everybody enjoys their weekends. If you have children, enjoy your children. Enjoy them while they're young. They don't stay young forever. And if you're going through a divorce, really think carefully about what you say to those children and in front of those children. Little ears, little brains, they soak everything up like a sponge. And I would have to imagine that's probably one of the worst feelings in the world, going to court, knowing that your child is going to have to testify in a child custody or divorce case about what mommy or daddy said. So have a wonderful weekend and enjoy that time with your family.